Good morning. Welcome to morning practice. I'm Olivia. Really delighted for you to join me here this morning. Um, it is Monday, January 22nd. It's very rainy here in San Francisco. It's our rainy time of the year, but it feels really nice to feel this much water energy coming on. And we always need as much water as we can get. To keep the ground moist. So I have been saying, I realized in the last few days that I've been saying that we've been doing the practice for 3 months, and actually it will be 3 months with the next new moon. I did not start the practice in October. We started in November, and I gave myself quite a problem to solve there. So that was interesting. Looking for videos that didn't exist. Because we hadn't started that. We started after it was the Scorpio new moon, which was November 13th. Yeah, it's been really fun, and I really hope to continue. And, let's see how it goes. If you're seeing this and feel like you want to give me some supportive feedback to continue the practice, I really would appreciate it. It's hard to know. It is my intention that these videos reach anyone who may need them, anyone who may benefit from them. And if that's you, I'm so glad. And just do let me know. So I realize that it's registering. It's so important as we move into this year that we really continue to evolve and develop and activate our hearts and our heart awareness and our heart consciousness. And I feel very passionate about that. And I hope that you can join me on that journey from time to time or every day. So saying that, I also had a conversation over the weekend about this yoga practice, and it came to my attention that and this is sort of the wider topic, when people talk about yoga, a lot of people immediately say, well, I can't do yoga. Because to them, when they hear the word yoga, they see, somebody in some impossible pretzel position, um, breathing harmoniously. And that's an aspect of what yoga can look like, but the practice of yoga really much more, and I can't emphasize this enough, is about a cultivation of awareness with the self, with the body. That is yoga. So just sitting here and breathing, sitting here and meditating, sitting here and focusing the breath, that's yoga. You're doing yoga. And especially if it has that intent behind it, like I am focusing on my breath work. I'm focusing on my inhale and exhale in a multitude of different ways, where I'm meditating on an object or place or thing in my heart, or I'm simply meditating and being present and to the moment and letting the moment move through me. That's yoga. And then as we come to the mat and we come to the asana practice, and asana literally means seat. So I think it's noteworthy that when we talk about the movement limb of the 8 limbs of yoga, which we talked a lot at the end of December, the movement is just one limb of the 8 limbs of yoga, and it's called asana, which means seat. It doesn't even mean warrior two. And if you actually look into the history of yoga, we won't go so much into that now. A lot of the sequences and poses that we know to be what we understand as yoga are really co-evolved from other exercise practices that happened simultaneously in a sort of moment of collective consciousness. And they're much more, the more ancient postures are the more still ones. So we in the West have really come to identify, Ashtanga Vinyasa as quite vigorous, and that can be, but that's just one way of practicing. If you're sitting at home, focusing on your breath work, focusing on meditation, breathing into your heart, and maybe doing a little movement or not, or even just focusing on your breath. That is yoga. That is a practice. That is a practice for you to develop. And whatever you're doing, you're always doing it right. You know, I think we can use examples of, you know, different kinds of practices. Say, well, I can't do it like that, so therefore I must be doing it wrong. No, 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 you're doing it right. Where you are meeting the practice with the truth in your movement and the authenticity in your movement, that is correct. That is perfect. That's what we're seeking. The more authentic you can feel as we go through a breathwork, meditation, movement session, the more you make it your own, the more you are actually able to experience pleasure and a sense of serenity. That is an advanced yoga practice that I think everybody can cultivate to their own relationship with themselves. So I just wanted to reemphasize that this morning, and we'll probably continue to talk about that this week. I feel like having just really understood that, let's take of a moment of appreciation that you are even here now before we even start. The fact that you have pointed, focused your awareness towards an idea of a daily practice is a seed to say, I need to take some time for myself, to check in with myself each day, to feel into my body, to feel into my heart, to feel into my energy. And that is a really good yoga practice simply on its own. I think, you know, it is 50, even 60% is about intention. The actual doing is the body of the practice, but to bring our focus and concentration in a direction, that already is a kind of commitment to yourself. And that's all we're offering here is an opportunity to make a commitment of a cultivation of awareness of yourself with yourself. I'm giving you the tools. And I do believe that when we practice together, we magnify our energy together. And I'm delighted when that happens, always. But really, the most important part is your relationship with yourself and knowing there's never a moment when you're taking focused attention for the cultivation of awareness in yourself that you're doing it wrong. You're always doing it right because you're building on something and you're building on your own language, and only you really can understand that. So, saying that, we'll drop into some meditation this morning and just really finding a nice tall spine, sitting in a way that's comfortable for you, that you can sit over time. And just breathing here. And the mind may be busy with the noise of Monday morning, and you should just observe that, maybe stepping away. You don't have to engage with those thoughts, with those distractions right now. You're just coming into a moment with yourself and you feel your sit bones really rooted to the support you're sitting on or the chair you're sitting in, wherever you're sitting comfortably with a straight spine. And you can just imagine that tip of your tailbone reaching down, down, down like a long, long root deep into the earth. Wherever floor or floors it has to go through should go deep into the ground, deep into the soil, and feel that deep connection to the planet, that you belong here. You belong here. And you are grounded in this planet as part of the planet and part of the planet's energetic expression. And taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And you may feel called to bring one hand to the heart center, other hand over top. You may feel called to bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. You may simply let your hands rest. And as you breathe in and notice the inhale, expanding the chest into the hands. And exhaling, it's almost as the chest recedes, the hands don't press, but follow the movement of the chest, holding the heart center. And inhaling, expanding the heart center into the hands. Exhaling, just receding, bringing the hands closer to the heart, holding the heart. And continue to breathe here, feeling the expanse of the inhale through the heart. And feeling the energetic resonance of the hands coming close to the heart on the exhale, as if your hands were holding your heart center. And as we sit breathing in and out through our heart, we can begin to see the light deep in our heart, the light that is uniquely yours, that burns brighter than 10,000 suns. It is your heart light. And as we focus our awareness on our beautiful heart light and feel the energetic resonance of our hands holding that heart, holding the heart light, we may begin to feel that light, that brilliance, that luminosity expand and grow. And that light and that luminosity expanding and growing beyond the heart center, beyond the periphery of the body, your heart light illuminating your magnetic field, your auric field, the energies of the body, of the chakras lit up. Feel your auric field grow bright with beautiful light emanating from your heart. And allow yourself to enjoy the experience. As your heart light reaches out beyond you, beyond wherever you're sitting, to the world. And our heart lights connect to the other heart lights of humans. There's a sort of luminous expansion, a ripple, our lights magnifying each other. And these lights that we generate just simply by being alive, simply by breathing and existing. These lights that we share, covering the whole planet with love, with light, in combination with all the other human hearts and all the other human lights. And allow yourself to enjoy being interconnected with all things, with all consciousness, with all sentience. As your tailbone is rooted deep into the earth, and you are part of the oneness and collective sentience of all life on this planet. And you are also uniquely, beautifully you. We'll take a few more moments in meditation. You may begin to deepen the breath. Again, feeling the wonderful expansion of the chest center, the broadening of the collarbones as you inhale, pressing into your hands, and then the counterbalance of your hands as you exhale, moving closer to the heart. You can allow the hands to drop to the lap, maybe slowly blinking the eyes open. We'll get started with a little bit of music here. I want to make sure that the volume levels are correct. Yes, good. So let's go over to the mat. I feel the heart breath was a really good way of connecting already to our breath. And then we'll go on to develop movement in combination. Hold on one moment. We're having an interruption because we're in a donated space. Hold on. Do you want to go there? Just go. Just help yourself. Are you here to clear it? Good morning. Yeah.
That one doesn't work.
Okay, just use mine. Oh, okay. Okay.
This door, the locket.
Okay. Do you want to just come through here? Okay, please. No, it's okay. Fine. No worries. I teach an online yoga class, and yeah, there you go. Okay. Okay. Thank you. That was unexpected. Okay, so you got a very good glimpse of life happening. This is a donated space. I'm very fortunate that I've been given this space to do the morning practice, and that means occasionally there are interruptions, and I hope that was, well, it was an interruption, but I think it's a great reminder in life that we just move on, and everything is taken care of, I hope. And if it gets interrupted again, that's also fine. I'm gonna take our blocks over to the mat. Any props you think you might need for practice? Okay. We are so grateful for this space. We don't really have a suitable alternative yet. I hope to in the near future. it allows us to share this practice. And so we're so grateful for whatever form that comes in, including necessary business interruptions. So let's find a comfortable seat on the mat, and we are going to inhale our arms overhead, and let's just reach up to the ceiling here, feeling the sit bones push into the mat, feeling the hands reach in prayer to the ceiling. That's just that dichotomy of movement. And you might bend slightly to the left, you might bend slightly to the right. Oh, and then reach. And then bring that prayer to heart. And we're just offering love and gratitude for this body, for this instrument of consciousness, this vehicle that is our receptor, is our register, is this extraordinary thing that receives and feels. And it's just amazing to be embodied. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll inhale. Arms come overhead, hands come to prayer. Prayer comes to the heart. Just again, feeling very grateful for all people everywhere, for people who do their work concurrently while other work is being done, you know, who everybody's life supporting each other. And it's just really so wonderful that we can share this human journey with so many different souls, all of whom contribute to our life. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the people. Inhaling, arms come overhead, hands come to prayer, prayer comes to heart. Just feeling love and gratitude for this planet, for all that this planet gives us to sustain us, for our journey on this planet, for the beauty and brilliance of nature that we get to experience with such awe and wonder. It is a cosmic journey to be a human being, and the gifts that are given to us through the earth are truly magnificent and kind, and they are our teachers as much as all sentience and life. So we give thanks to the earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And hands come to rest, and let's just do a few torso rolls to the right and some torso rolls to the left. And as we go through practice today, I really encourage you to continue on your inhales and exhales, breathing through the heart, really being conscious of your movement and your breath synchronized together. And if that falls off, that's fine, you know, just bring the awareness back, bringing the awareness back. That's all we're doing. You know, it is human to think about what you want to have for breakfast. It is human to think about, this is what I need to do today. It is also perfectly human to notice, oh, my thoughts have gone wandering off again. I can invite my awareness. I can invite my focus back to this breath, this movement, wherever we are, and just be aware. That is the practice. It's not about correctness. It's about developing an awareness of your own presence and cultivating that, sharpening it, focusing it. You can stretch your feet out in front of you if that feels good, maybe waving the feet a little bit, bringing a little movement to the legs. I'm gonna have us meet in, I think on our back actually. Let's meet on our back. So we're gonna roll down on our back and just bring the knees into the chest, bringing the knees in. and allowing the tailbone to really just lengthen out on the floor, even if that means like letting the knees go a little further away. Just really feeling the length of the tailbone on the floor and circling the knees to the right, circling the knees to the left and to the right and to the left. And you may feel, you know, the area around your sacrum. You may feel the area of your hip flexors, and allowing your feet to come to the mat and just pressing into the feet. We'll do a very shallow roll up bridge, just pressing our hips gently up and then rolling the spine gently down, and then pressing the hips gently up and rolling the spine gently down. Again, pressing the hips gently up and rolling the spine gently down. And we'll bring our right ankle to the left knee and bring the figure four in. Just again, feeling the arm maybe press against the right thigh, the right elbow against the right thigh as you draw your left knee in. And you can release that. Let the whole thing fall to the left. You may feel that in your SI joint as you press your hand into the inside of the right knee. And that just creates a stretch. You'll feel it on your IT band. You'll feel it around the sacrum or possibly around the sacroiliac joint, which is why we do this stretch. And you may extend your right hand gently, just looking over the right shoulder, and then come back to center, placing the left ankle on the right knee, drawing the right knee towards the body, letting the left elbow press into the left thigh as a sort of counter balance. The brief, this is what you could call an inverted pigeon, reclined pigeon. I think it's reclined. And let the feet come down, letting the knees just fall to the right. Again, taking that right hand, pressing it on the inside of the left thigh, letting the left arm come out. And just again, feeling that along the outer part of the left leg and into the lower back joints. And then we'll just curl to one side, your right side, and then push yourself up. And we'll come to a tabletop position on the mat. Just do whatever you need to do to be comfortable in tabletop. And then lifting the heart center, lifting the tailbone, rounding in, breathing out, inhaling, opening the heart, lifting the tail, exhaling, curl it in. And then we'll stretch our left leg out, just keeping that ball of the foot on the ground and just roll back and forth a little on the ball of the foot, and then allow the foot to spin down. You may want to use your right hand as a kickstand, and you're just gonna reach up with your left hand here. First, just reaching up to the ceiling, pressing into the right hand, and then pushing, feeling the length of the left side body from the edge of the left foot to the left fingertips. You may raise your leg here and balance. If you'd like, you can take the left foot in the left hand and turn up to the ceiling. Any of those expressions is the correct expression. So staying here the whole time is perfectly wonderful. There is no requirement to go into a pose if it's not right for your body and it's not working today. And that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're listening to what your body says and what your body wants. And that is the best kind of practice you can have, where you're listening and subsequently following the directive of where the body is. So we'll take that on the other side. We'll just extend that right leg, rolling on the ball of the foot a little bit first, and then letting that drop to the side. The left leg, the left shin can come out as a kind of kickstand. And you're reaching your right hand up and almost as if almost leaning back, just really feeling the heart opening part of the stretch here. And then coming back to neutral and really reaching that hand over your head. Your upper arm is next to your ear. Really feeling that length. Feeling the length of the right side body. And please feel free to stay here if this is a lovely, stable position for you. If you want to balance, you might try lifting the right leg and just balancing here. That's completely wonderful for core engagement and just checking in with how you're feeling. Or you can take that right foot in your right hand and turn the chest to the ceiling and smile because you feel pleasure in this pose, not because it's more correct or it's better, but you're simply having an experience of pleasure in your body. And you can release that wherever you are. Allow yourself to just feel the pleasure of what your body is registering in any moment. Come back to all fours, reset, taking a nice arc and round. And then you're in your cat here, rounding up between your back. Let's just stay here for a moment and just find a little sway back and forth on the wrists, and really focusing your attention for a moment in that area between the shoulder blades, puffing it up, and then just almost as if you're going to go back to child's pose, coming back over the legs, and then you're just going to come forward and just make sure your hands are in a good position for that. And just you're letting your hips drop to the mat. And then pressing into the hands, pushing back. Almost to a child's pose. Inhaling, coming forwards. Letting the hips drop. Exhaling. Back. And take that a few times. Inhaling forwards, letting the hips drop, bringing the heart center through the arms. Exhaling, pushing back, almost to a child's pose. And actually, when you get there, touch your toes, keep your knees wide, let your head come to the mat into a child's pose. Feel the circle around your sacrum relax and expand as you allow yourself to just rest for a moment in child's pose. And then pushing up to all fours. We're going to tuck our toes, press our hips up to a downward facing dog. If this is uncomfortable for you, you're going to do downward facing dog at the wall. To do downward facing dog at the wall, you want your hips right over your heels. You're going to press your hands into the wall and then walk the hands down and the feet out until you're making a nice 90-degree angle between the upper thighs and the torso. leaning in towards the wall, and you're really activating and pressing into those hands, feeling the length of the tailbone, and then really engaging with the back of the legs. So you're really pressing both into your hands and into your feet at the wall. And if you're inverted, you're pedaling your feet out here, or you may simply be in stillness, reaching the tailbone. In both positions, you're going to feel the activation of energy from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. That activation of energy is a source of luminosity, of electricity. Bending the knees, you're going to come to the top of the mat, just into a forward fold. If you're at the wall, just allow yourself to come down to any degree of forward fold. You can use blocks for your hands here. I would say take a very generous bend in the knees, allowing the torso to drape over the thighs. And just take a moment here. Nice inhale. And a nice exhale. And then slowly rolling up to stand. And we're gonna, let's do a quick lunge salutation sequence, I think. And then maybe we'll do a balancing pose and see what we have time for after that. So inhaling, arms come overhead. Exhaling, come down into your forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhaling, step your right foot down. Place your right knee on the ground. Pressing into the left foot and the right shin. Bringing your arms overhead. Really bringing a lot of pressing into that left foot so that the torso is almost moving away from the front leg. And then reaching up, finding the length in the lower spine here, making sure you're not crunching in your lower back. And then bring those arms down, framing the front foot. We'll just take a little bit of a half split stretch here, allowing yourself to roll it out on your heel. And then we'll come back into kneeling. Press back into your downward facing dog. Come forward to a plank, using your knees or coming down as one. Come to the ground. Arms, hands are underneath your shoulders. You just take a little baby cobra and then press down, and you're pressing back to your downward facing dog, lifting the right leg, bringing the right foot between the hands, letting the left knee come down to the mat. And again, really pressing into the left shin to the right foot, pressing into the right foot a little more, almost to draw your torso away from that front leg, feeling the length of the lower spine, and just reaching up. And again, just feeling pleasure wherever you are in the pose, to just press in and reach at the same time, enjoying the quality of lifting the spirit high as you ground deep into the earth. Bringing the hands down, and straighten that front leg, rolling a little bit on the heel. Very gentle half split. And then rebending that leg. Stepping back. Lifting the hips high, bending the knees, stepping to the top of the mat. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, forward fold. And then inhale, pressing into your feet to rise. Hands come to prayer. Prayer comes to heart. We'll take a quick tree. If balance is challenging, please use the wall. So saying that this is going to look like my left hand is on the wall, which means I'm going to bring the weight into my left leg and bring my right foot up inside of the left thigh. If you are taking it without the wall, you can bring your hands to prayer. You can bring your hands overhead. The thing is, you want your hip points pointing forward. You want your knee in a diagonal line off to the side. And when you're here in your tree, you may extend your gaze upward. Just feeling the length. Again, that deep root through the bottom of the foot into the earth. You belong to this planet. You are part of this planet. You are rooted in this planet. And your tree may sway in the breeze. And that's beautiful. That is your body learning. It's so important. Falling out of poses, falling out of balancing poses is how the body learns. So if we don't allow the body to learn, it doesn't begin to register balance. So we've got to be able to give the body a place and an ability to find its way and actually hold that with compassion. If you are using the wall, you can simply about face, bringing your right hand to the wall and, or you know what I mean, and bringing the weight into your right leg, bringing the left leg up. I'm gonna face you, so if I had a wall, it would be there. But, so we bring that foot in, really feel the inner thigh and foot pressing into each other, the hip points again, parallel forward, the knee off to the side, bringing the hands to prayer, bringing the arms overhead. Again, you really want to feel you're rooted into the planet so that there's a root going through the bottom of the foot deep into the earth. You are rooted, so no matter how much we sway here, and I'm going to sway right out of it. No matter how much we sway, we know that we are rooted into the planet and part of the experience of wind and rain and movement. So I encourage you to play a little bit with your balance and absolutely fall out if you need to, because that is giving your body a wider expanse of movement to learn in and to register how to balance when we're in movement. So we'll come back to the top of our mat, and then we're going to step out to a lovely 5-pointed star, and then let us come bending in our knees. We'll just come to a goddess pose and just hold this for a moment, lifting the heart center up. Stretching into our limbs, we'll take triangle on the right side, so your both legs are straight, the right foot is pointed towards the right edge of the mat, the left foot is parallel with the left edge of the mat, and you're just pushing, and then as you fold into that hip, imagine this right thigh turning in and up. That's really going to help you keep the length in that front leg. So your right thigh is really turning in and out, almost like you could tuck that posterior part of your butt underneath you. And then you're reaching at the same time. This is a great place to find a block for your hand, or your hand comes to the floor, or your hand is on the shin or the thigh. Whatever you are is perfect. Feeling the length in the spine, feeling the openness of the chest. And then pressing into both feet, we'll come back up to our 5-pointed star. We'll parallel for a moment, turn the feet out, come into your goddess pose. Feeling the length from the hips to the cervical spine, into the head, to the crown, pressing into your feet, and we'll take that on the left-hand side. So left foot points towards the left edge of the mat, right foot is parallel to the right edge. And again, leaning, and as you lean, you're turning this hip. It's turning in and up towards you as you're making the side bend. Again, a block underneath the hand on the shin, elbow on the thigh, all beautiful expressions of triangle. Really imagining the area between your shoulder blades widening as you reach up. Really feeling that lower thigh rolling in and up, the barrel turning. And then pressing into both legs, you're going to come right back up. You'll come back into Goddess. And then pressing to our 5-pointed star. And then let's come down to the mat. So actually, let's do a forward fold here. Let's parallel our legs, putting our hands on our hips and inhaling, reaching the heart center up, and exhaling, folding at the hip points, coming down. Your hands can be underneath your shoulders here. Let's just take a moment to find the length of the spine here when your hands are supporting you between the tip of the tailbone and the crown of the head. Really imagine there's an extension and an expansion there, dropping the shoulders. And then if you want to go deeper into your forward fold, allow the head to drop, keeping those sit points pressing up. And then we're going to just take the right hand to the left ankle, or if you're mirroring me, the left hand to the right ankle. And turning into the twist here, really feeling that in the hips and sacrum. Again, continuing to really point those sit points, sit bones up to the sky, feeling the length of the back of the legs. You may come to neutral spine for a moment, coming into the fold and taking the opposite twist. Either left foot to right ankle or right foot to left ankle. Really feeling the hips stay centered, sit bones pointing up, and just the length of the back of the legs. And your gaze looking up under your armpit. Press into both hands, just find a neutral long spine here for a moment. And then toe healing our feet in. We'll just come briefly to a yoga squat. You can sit on a block or bolster here, or sit on the floor with your knees wide. Just letting the tailbone drop here, feeling the relaxation around the tailbone. Maybe take a moment to connect to your breath, feeling the breath in the heart, feeling the length of the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then allowing yourself to come to a seat. Keep the legs wide into a straddle. Make any adjustments that you need to make. Let's bring the arms wide, and then we're going to reach out laterally over the right leg or the left, depending on if you're mirroring me or not. And then just feel your hip. If you're reaching over your right leg, your left hip is pressing into the ground so that you feel the point from your left hip to the tips of your left fingers. Really reaching. You're reaching more for like that corner between the ceiling and the wall than you are to the side wall. It's really more of a diagonal reach, and that allows you to find more extension along the left side body. And then we'll bring that up. Feeling the expansion, noticing the different sensations between the different sides of the bodies. And again, left arm will fall to the left leg, right hip point presses deep into the hip, right arm overhead. And again, really that diagonal reach is what's going to help find extension here. Come back up, finding balance, and we may turn and face the, oh, look at my microphone's coming. We're going to face the right leg with a straight spine and just fold at the hip. And wherever you fold to, you might want to take the left hand to the edge of the right foot and pressing into the right hand, turning the torso to the right. Noticing where you're gripping, noticing what can actually release in this pose. Noticing that when you soften the hip flexors, you can deepen your fold. When we focus on softening instead of straining, and releasing our gripping instead of reaching, it really expands the practice. And then we'll push ourselves up and face the other leg, the left leg if you just did the right. Feeling the tallness of the spine. And again, imagine that you're folding from the softening of your hip flexor, not from the strain on the back of the leg. So that hip flexor is super soft. And then you may take your right hand to the outside of the left foot and pressing into that left hand, turning the torso to the left, and you soften in your hip flexor. Really just feeling everything that needs to release, let go. You may find that your jaw is gripping. You may find that parts of your pelvis that aren't engaged in this process are gripping. Can you let those go? Can you let other parts of the body relax? The shoulders, the neck, the jaw. The jaw is really good. And you're going to come up. And then we're going to take just a final forward fold here, coming down. And this is a really wonderful place, really to connect and give yourself some support so that you can really let the weight of your head be expressed through contact with an object. If it's a block, that's great. If there's more than one block, that's great. The point is to really allow the weight of the body to just melt forward into whatever is underneath it. Allowing the third eye to kiss the ground, and through the third eye, there's a vortex of beautiful, clear, light water, and running as a very thin vortex, almost electrical. It's going deep into the earth and carrying out anything in the brain, any unnecessary noise, any fluctuations, distractions. They flow out of the third eye on this vortex of light, deep into the earth. Feeling the length of the tailbone here. Again, feeling, even though we're in a passive pose, that active energy from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head, the electrical fire of your spine, illuminating your whole being, your whole presence. And then pressing into our hands, maybe bringing the heart through the arms, little counter arc, to our forward fold. And then bringing the hands in, we'll come into a Shavasana, resting posture. So you'll come onto your back. Hands are at the side, palms are up. Everything is in contact with the floor, is releasing. And there is no active engagement of the muscles. The eyeballs recede deep into the head. The muscles around the eyeballs relax. Your cheeks relax. Your jaw. Head is soft. Shoulders are soft. Back of the neck. Pelvis. Calves. No more doing, just releasing and resting. Slowly beginning to feel the movement of air across the skin, perhaps deepening the breath. Perhaps bringing a little bit of movement to the fingers and the toes. Allowing movement to slowly awaken across the body. And maybe taking a full body stretch from the tips of your toes to your hands reaching overhead. And finding your way to a fetal position on either side of the body. Resting for a moment. When you're ready, you're going to gently push yourself up to a seat, keeping the eyes closed or gaze soft. Finding a comfortable seat. And as you inhale, bring that back to your heart awareness, inhaling through the heart center. Feeling the chest expand, and you may place your hands there again. Exhaling, hands come towards the heart. Feeling that, noticing how your body might feel slightly different, changed. Maybe there's more of a certain kind of movement you'd like to do, or more resting and meditation you'd like to do this morning. I invite you to find more time for yourself to explore what your body is interested in and develop that relationship of awareness together, you and your body. And then we'll take an Om to close the practice together, inhaling. Breathing into the heart, breathing out through the heart. And I have such gratitude and appreciation. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing this practice. I hope it is of benefit to you. And thank you for being your unique and beautiful self with your unique and beautiful gifts. This world is more vibrant and more alive because of you. And so thank you for sharing your presence with the entire, thank you for sharing your presence with your entire experience of your day. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you are giving and sharing your light. So grateful. Okay, let's get on, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And I hope to see you here again. Any feedback about the practice is always appreciated.